Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's do a level 120 review of Aranea. And as we've been coming closer to the global release, I've been feeling kind of more and more like a sense of responsibility, because I got the character, I just enjoyed using her, I think she's good, and I think I made her look good. But the vast majority of JP players do not think she is good. I'm sure I've made more videos about her than any other YouTuber. And so now if global players, if they go into pulling her and then thinking that she's really good, and then they use her and then they don't think she's good, that's going to fall on my shoulders. So here I'll try to be as fair as I can, as realistic as I can, about what Aranea can and can't do. I featured her in many Arena videos before. She was just fine in top 50 of Arena, but not the easiest character to use, as we shall see. However, when I go into PvP, I rarely see her. And just to be upfront about it, I'm extremely biased towards this character, because I have good memories of using her in Brave Exvius, and I just like dragoons in general, and then I like the Onesons. But really, I do think she is very good to use. I think she compares very favorably to Kain EX. He is my pick for the best Final Fantasy IV unit, even considering Golbez, although I see a lot more Golbez than I do see Kain. And she compares about as well to Oberon as a cost 90 unit can compare to cost 100. And Aranea is not a cost 100 in disguise, she is definitely a cost 90 unit. But those 10 points of cost difference, they really come out in like her shorter range, her fewer AoE attacks, and then her lower survivability than Oberon. She's not quite at the point where she can be your only attacker on your PvP team, unless you're going to play a super turtle-y team, like a tank and a healer, or like 2 tanks to go with her, and then you anticipate having longer fights. I've also made a video about just that, pairing her with like Aerith and stuff. I want to say that she's hard to guard against because she has 2 unusual attack types. She has a single target resist break, which is very powerful. She has a 100% hit skill. She has Dispel. And then she's also kind of a tank buster with her defense penetration and then guts removal. Alright, but let's look at her stats. Let's look at her resistances first. She has a good amount of projectile resistance, so that'll help her close the gap against the ranged attackers. Weak to magic, and then there are now 2 very strong fire magic users in JP, so that's kind of making it difficult for her. Trustmaster I have never used. Decent HP, good defense, some spirit. This is a good skill, but I feel like that there are better Trustmasters for her. Maybe especially something like Bells to give her AP. But this will, for 3 turns, lower casting time and then also raise speed. This cannot be used by magic users, unfortunately. It's more the heavy armor users. Let's see, I see Paladin, Soldier, Lancer, people like that. Okay, and then her jobs. Main job is the special Final Fantasy 15 job, and then sub-jobs are Dragoon and Pugilist. Very glad that she has Pugilist. I think it really makes the other character. Alright, but let's look at the abilities. And then I'll let you know which skills I use the most. Here is Dragon Leap. This will jump, come down after a bit of a casting time. This is the single target break, so this is pretty powerful. Not too expensive either. Here's a Remove Piercer. This will do the Dispel and then also remove Guts, or Courage in Global. This is also powerful. Good against tanks. Air Ascendant. This is another jump. Will take some time to come down. This is faster than the previous jump. Will break speed, a little bit of AoE. Here is a 100% hit attack. Short range, but it is AoE. Doesn't cost too much. And then there are lots of wind characters with evade, so this can be useful against them. Here is a Frost Arts, a TP skill. This will raise attack and then defense, and then on Dragon Leap, we'll add a chance of Frostbite. I kind of go back and forth on this TP skill. The attack buff is nice, it's like 40% or something, but Frostbite, the status effect, I don't feel like it's super amazing, and it's not going to win you any fights. Might be good for like PvE. But yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth on this one. And then here is Air Supremacy, which I think is better. TP skill will greatly raise Pierce attack, so that would make her good, a good partner for other Pierce attackers. And then also raise on defense penetration. So yeah, that's another source for her to become a tank buster. It is an AoE buff though, so if it's not going to work with your opening moves, yeah, I sometimes turn that off. Okay, here are the sub-job skills. Rapid Thrust, 2 hits, piercing, medium damage. That could be okay for raids. And then here is a short-range attack, medium damage, chance of don't act. That's not amazing. Okay, and then here's the Dragoon sub-jobs. Let's see, Brave Break, move and jump +1, Dragon Dive, a little bit of AoE, regular old jump, and then the attack buff. This is not great, I don't usually use that sub-job. And then there's Pugilist, which I use pretty much all of the time. Here is an HP heal, turn that off. Here is the medium range, medium damage, attack break, and then the number of times that she is hit, she will do more damage. I usually turn this off because we don't want her hit. She does have some defense buffs, but yeah, I'd rather that she not have to rely on this. Okay, here's a bit of an AoE, again, strike damage, medium damage, Man-Eater. And then here is a move and attack, small damage. It says small damage, but it actually does pretty good damage. I see like 4 or 5k coming out of this, so this is kind of the main thing that I want her to be using. And then here's another TP skill, will raise own max HP, and then defense. I have this turned off. Okay, and then support abilities. Here's from a Pugilist, HP and attack up, that's nice. Here's from her main job, luck, and then pierce attack up. Jump +1, HP up. This is the Pugilist support ability to raise accuracy, and then also the rate of the counter attack. And then here defense, and then defense penetration up. This is great when you're going against other tanks. Okay, reaction ability, she has the Dragoon, Drain. She has the 2-hit counter from Pugilist, which can get upgraded. And then here, Fast Sting from her main job. When she's hit with physical damage, she will attack first, do some piercing damage. Alright, so yeah, she's really not built to go against magic at all. And then her Limit Break, which also makes her character medium range, but pretty good AoE. It's not quite the big diamond like Mediena's Limit Break, but yeah, better than Oberon's as far as the AoE. Will raise own defense penetration, do big damage, and then break the pierce resistance. So yeah, very nice attack, if you can get the team members all bunched up. Alright, then Master Ability, we have the Ice Party buff. Will raise own speed 10%, she kind of needs that, and then critical damage up 5%. Okay, so that is her kit. I think for weapons, you 100% of the time want to use the Ice Spear. That will give you Ice attack up, which will work with her Pugilist attacks as well, so I like that. In the Final Fantasy XV overview video, I compared Noctis to Aranea, and I said Noctis was the trickier, more complicated unit, and Aranea was the simpler, higher damage unit. I stand by that assessment, but in terms of the environment, I think Noctis has more of a place than Aranea. Fire is both very common and very strong, especially now with 2 strong magic users in JP. And then also Ice doesn't have a dynamic duo like many of the other elements, including Earth with Oberon and Noctis. And then someday, when there is an Ice dynamic duo, I don't think Aranea is going to be part of that duo. But she could be the good third character in there. Again, it's the lack of AoE attacks and range and survivability that keep her from being top of the top. But Ice has lots of nice vision cards, So let's have a look at those next. But I'll just show you what I got. Here's the Freeze's vision card. Not good to put on her. This is to raise magic. But this is the only UR vision card that will raise ice attack. So that can get more damage from her. This would be good on like Mediana or Valentine Salia. Alright, and then we have the Laswell card. This will raise agility, gained AP. Those are both good for Aranea. And then on physical attacks, Man-Eater. That's also good. And then doesn't conflict with any of the other kind of ice-specific cards. And this would be an okay one to put on her. Personal ability is attack up 30%. And what else we got? Here is the Stargazer card. Still one of the best cards in the game. But universal buff, so especially now in JP where you can equip sub-vision cards, it's easier to equip these just because you got more slots. But attack up 35% for the party, gained AP up 35, that's both great for Aranea. For water units, we'll raise magic resistance. If you want to combine ice and then water on the same team, that's a good combo because the water characters can protect the ice characters from fire characters. And then personal ability, single target resistance up. And then a vision ability, nice AoE. Aranea in her kit kind of doesn't have this coverage on a diagonal especially. And then a defense break. Otherwise... here's one of the better cards for Aranea. This is the Mask of Deceit, I think it was. This will raise projectile resistance, so you could take that up to 40. Maybe give her some armor, take her to 50 or so. Ice units will get Pierce attack up 35, and then personal ability is Man-Eater. So yeah, Aranea likes all of that stuff. And then dexterity up 55, which is nice. And then Fenrir. This could also be a good one to put onto Aranea or a teammate. This will raise a magic resistance up 20, she definitely wants that. And then ice units will get just overall attack up 50%. This will kind of conflict with the buff that you get from the Stargazer card, so you might not want to combine them. And then personal ability, HP up. The nice thing about, again, these old cards is that anybody can equip them. It's easier to make teams with like multiple elements on them. And that's one of the strengths of the ice element. Even if they don't have like a dynamic duo, or they don't have like, you know, super top tier attackers, they have nice vision cards. And then Odin, this will give you accuracy to ice units, so that could be good against the wind evade units or any evade units. Now there's like earth and light running around. But single target resistance here, Man-Eater up. And that might be it. There is a future farmable MR vision card. This will raise Pierce attack up 20, accuracy up 9, and then slash resistance up 15, and then personal ability, even more Pierce attack up. So yeah, that could be okay. Stats are not amazing though. Okay, that is my review of Aranea level 120. I'm really happy with the character. She takes a little bit of finesse to use. And then I want to make one more showcase video of her. Maybe 2 tanks and then her. We'll see how that goes. Alright, thanks for watching and we'll see you again. Take care.